Sad news for Tory Lanez, man. Stabbed 14 times in jail. Let's check this out.
The rapper serving time for shooting Megan The Stallion is in stable condition tonight after allegedly being stabbed by another inmate in the prison yard in California. Sources say Tory Lanez was rushed to the hospital. He's expected to be okay. He's serving that 10-year sentence for shooting Megan The Stallion as they left an LA party back in July 2020. Priya Shrithar is joining us now. I mean, people know Tory Lanez. What happened here?
Hey, Hallie, that's right. Well, we don't have a lot of information about this just yet, but what we do know from the spokesperson for that California Correctional Institute is that this attack occurred at around 7:20 this morning. They didn't give further information about exactly how Tory Lanez was stabbed or what the potential motivation could be or where he was stabbed, but they did say that staff immediately rendered medical aid. He was transported to a local hospital, and he is suffering from non-life-threatening injuries. However, several other media outlets, including the Los Angeles Times, are reporting that this was another inmate who used a shank to stab him several times. Now, just to jog your memory about what he was exactly doing in jail in the first place, as you mentioned, he is serving a 10-year sentence. He was convicted back in December of 2022 on 3 different felony charges: assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Now, this all stems from an incident back in July of 2020 when Megan The Stallion actually testified at the trial that he, after they were departing a party at Kylie Jenner's house, they were walking towards an SUV that they should have been riding back together in when he apparently shot at her feet and told her to dance in the driveway. Now, since then, the rapper has attempted to appeal for another trial. He hasn't been successful in those attempts, but actually earlier this year, Hallie, Megan The Stallion said that he was using surrogates to harass her from jail, and a judge actually issued a protective order for her until the year 2030. Hallie?
There's no reason for everybody to start trying to jump around as to why this may have happened. You're probably going to see that a lot. You're gonna hear, oh, this is somebody representing Meg in there. I've already seen that. You're gonna see, I don't even want to go there. Listen, it's prison. It's prison. It could be jealousy. It could be a beef in the yard. It could be a million things. You can get into it with somebody. It's prison. Over a billion different things. This is profile because it's Tory Lanez, right? And it is very unfortunate to hear this happen to anybody. But even if I read some of the article, it's saying he was shanked over a dozen times and both of his lungs collapsed. But at least in the news report that we just listened to, they're saying he's now in stable condition. Um, They even said like where he was stabbed. Yeah, Tory Lane's team says he was stabbed 14 times, including 7 times in his back, 4 times in his torso, twice in the back of his head, and once in the left side of his face. So if you get stabbed 14 times in those areas, like even in the back of your head and your torso and everything, so you have to assume the shank was long enough to make his lungs collapse, right? I don't know. God definitely must have been on his side to be stabbed 14 times and to now be back in stable condition. They're saying that he's talking, they're saying he's in pain, but he's responsive. And if this happened, what, like a day and a half ago, and he's already back to talking, good for him. Both of his lungs collapsed, and Tory was placed on a breathing apparatus, though he is now breathing on his own, according to his camp. So, wow, 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 wow. If you Meg the Stallion in this situation, you don't say a single word, right? Whatever you guys had and how much hatred you guys have amongst each other, a man goes through this in a place that there's people that feel like he doesn't even belong. You don't come out and do no aha shit, no subs, like the drill scene. You know what I'm saying? No subs, no tweets, no public statements. I'm pretty sure the moment he got stabbed, Meg, if she has a good publicist, hits her up and says, "Don't say a single thing," right? Wow. If he ever gets an appeal or finds himself in a position and an outcome where he even further tilts the tide of like, I never belonged here in the first place. There's already a lot of people that feel that way. But just imagine like winning an appeal and then coming back home. But not only did you lose some of your freedom, not only was your career affected, that would have been if he was able to just serve his time and then come home, or serve some of that time and then come home, like let's say, i.e., an appeal. But now to go through this, stabbed 14 times, he almost had his life taken. And if you get stabbed 14 times, you got beef. Now, you would assume, you would hope that the prison would do a good job of identifying what the root cause of this was and keeping all of these type of people separated forever, whether people got to be moved to different tiers, different rooms, different whatever, even if people got to be transferred to different jails, you still got to protect these people. I'm not saying that this is what the prison prioritizes or the COs really actually do this shit, but it still is your job to protect the inmates. The inmates are not supposed to be in prison having easy access to be able to just kill each other. That's why you do things like raids and you confiscate shanks, and having shanks in there is illegal. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to still protect the prisoners, right? Even though that's not what happens. So, if when he makes it out the hospital and gets back, hopefully he's situated where he can avoid these people or anybody that's involved in this. And yeah, man, it's prison. How long has it been in there? It's been less than 2 years, right? And these type of issues in there, that's wild, man. That's wild. If he comes home and he wins an appeal someday, and to go through something like this, and then the world to look at Megan and say, wow, he was right all along. What would she deserve if that was ever to be true, allegedly? If he wins an appeal, what would she deserve? Would anybody feel like she has some karma coming her way? Or, I'm not saying I want to take a full position. I mean, before the verdict came down, I was on the side of the fence based on seeing what I saw. I was just like, I think he's innocent. Well, innocent of some of the allegations. I think he had his role, and obviously he was there, but I didn't fully see it. I didn't fully see it, man. And it looks like Meg and Tory have such this toxic relationship, like whether it stemmed from another woman, allegedly, whatever. It just good to hear that the man's doing better, man. But prison, man, this is why we all want to avoid that place.